With the flagship series slated to reveal in January, the Samsung Galaxy S25 leaks are not showing any signs of stopping. The latest rumor indicates we won't be receiving much of a RAM bump this time around. This is a tip from well-known leaker Exynos, who advises that the Galaxy S25 Ultra will have either 12 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM. The Galaxy S25 Plus will have 12 gigs of RAM, and the Galaxy S25 Standard will have 8 gigs of RAM. Comparatively, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra comes with 12 gigs of RAM, the Galaxy S24 Plus has 12 gigs of RAM, and the Galaxy S24 introduced in January 2024 has either 8 gigs or 12 gigs of RAM. Stated differently, if you choose the 1TB storage option, the Ultra model may be experiencing a dip in terms of what is accessible. Otherwise, there is no change anywhere, and the regular model might even lose the 12 gigs RAM option. Although this source has a good record of leaks, they do note that these specs are not confirmed, hence, for now treat them as possibilities rather than certainties. Maybe Samsung is still working on its ideas. Earlier rumors stated that the normal Galaxy S25 model will be getting a jump up to 12 gigs of RAM across all variations, and a 16 gigs of RAM option for the Ultra model is also something that we've heard discussion of before. Additionally mentioned many than once is the 12 gigs for the Plus variant. Regarding the CPU inside, it should be evident even though we are yet unknown about the RAM that will be offered here. Practically all three Galaxy S25 variants will be driven by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset in every country. The only shot of doubt is that some Geekbenched 6 listings for an international variation of the Plus model, found by ex-user Sunder6, have claimed it may feature a 10-core Exynos chip instead. As far as aesthetics go, don't expect too lot in the way of design modifications. While the Galaxy S25 Ultra could potentially have a more rounded shape than its predecessor, there are unlikely to be significant design alterations elsewhere. There was a point when everyone thought the Samsung S25 Plus had been cancelled. However, rumors of its death were highly overblown. Samsung is planned to debut the grown-up sibling for 2025's S25 series. While the next generation of Samsung smartphones may be months away, early images of the Samsung S25 Plus have revealed a small sample of its design, which takes influences from the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and the base Galaxy S25 model. The new Galaxy phone is projected to be slimmer while having the same battery capacity as its predecessor, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. While Samsung stays tight-lipped about these predictions, here is a roundup of all you need to know about the Galaxy S25 Plus, including the estimated release date, features, price, and colors. We estimate the Samsung S25 Plus release date to arrive in January, or at most February 2025. Samsung routinely lets its Galaxy S series flagships out of the lab pretty early in the year. The latest version was launched in January 2024. We don't expect the announcement to happen until January 10, when the 2025 Consumer Electronics Show will complete. Samsung may likely wish to host its launch event outside of the CES aura. This may push the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus release date towards the end of January or early February so that it can garner broader attention. On October 15, 2024, famed leaker Exynos promised what appears to be the first look of the S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra. If this is real, here's your first look, preserving Samsung's trademark appearance. Until we get to see the sides and the rear, it's going to be hard to distinguish these from earlier models. But at least the S25 range is beginning to surface in the wild. Samsung S25 Plus is predicted to have various software updates and design tweaks, even though certain functions are forecast to remain the same as in the predecessor. According to Exynos, the well-known Samsung tipster on X, the next Galaxy S25 Plus may sport the thickest bezel in the S25 range. However, the new phone may drop some weight and measure 158.4 by 75.7 by 7.3 mm with 6.2 by 2.9 by 0.2 inches, which might make it somewhat slimmer and thinner than the Galaxy S24 Plus. The phone may also flaunt a 6.7-inch AMOLED and LTPO screen with a support of up to 120Hz refresh rate. Other signs imply that the Galaxy S25 Plus main camera could have a bigger profile, with rings similar to those featured on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. The graphic above shows a new S25 Plus with flat edges and round corners, similar to those of the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus. Artificial intelligence is also likely to take center stage in most functionalities of the Samsung S25 Plus. Android 15 is projected to arrive before the Galaxy S25 Plus debut, therefore we expect the new phone to run on this version of Android OS. Samsung may bring out the One UI 7 upgrade between the end of 2024 and early 2025, and the new UI, when paired with the Android 15, could enable more Galaxy AI functions in the future Samsung S25 Plus. This features a feature called Battery AI, which Samsung supposedly intended to boost battery efficiency through AI integration. Aside from being slimmer than the current S24 Plus, Samsung may likely improve Galaxy S25 Plus hardware to a tougher armor aluminum build and Gorilla Glass. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chipset, anticipated to ship by October, might be the CPU that drives the Samsung S25 Plus, along with other members of the lineup, including the vanilla model and the S25 Ultra. There are also reports that Samsung could equip the S25 non-Ultra variants, including the S25 Plus, with the Exynos 2500 chipset in select areas other than the US. Contradicting the rumor above, a report by a South Korean publication, noticed by Ice Universe, said that the Exynos 2500 may not match the production criteria for Samsung phones. Instead, Samsung may cooperate with MediaTek to tailor processors for the Samsung S25 and S25 Plus, omitting the Ultra variant. Whatever the chip Samsung uses, we expect it will be combined with 12 gigs of RAM and maybe 256 gigs of base storage. According to several recent media stories, one discouraging thing about the Samsung S25 Plus is that it may still retain the same battery capacity of 4,900 mAh as in the predecessor. While this capacity is not bad, Samsung aficionados may prefer additional changes rather than a static stance. The iPhone 16 Plus, its possible competition, was announced with a 4,674 mAh battery, a 6.6% gain compared to its predecessor. However, despite having the same battery size as the Galaxy S24 Plus, there are claims that Samsung will introduce a new Battery AI function, which will employ AI to prolong the battery life of the new phone by up to 10%. It might be too early to take any Samsung S25 pricing rumors seriously. However, based on existing details, pricing for the next Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus is likely to keep very close to that of its predecessor, the Galaxy S24 Plus. Samsung has kept steady pricing for its Galaxy portfolio for the past 2 generations, and this signals that major price variations are unlikely this time around. The Galaxy S24 Plus base storage model launched at $999, and we predict the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus release price to remain in the same range and launch at $999 or possibly $1,050 if Samsung decides to include variables like inflation and increased component costs in its next product pricing. The initial concern of dropping the Galaxy S25 Plus must have signaled disappointment among Samsung enthusiasts. Samsung reportedly heard the calls and decided to add the device in its future product portfolio. The next phone is rumored to have bigger bezels, but could still be slimmer and thinner than the Galaxy S24 Plus. The speculated Battery AI integration may alleviate the sadness of having the same battery capacity as the predecessor. We might also see enhancements in other areas, including the processor and the aluminum structure. The Galaxy S25 Plus debut date is still months away, so we expect further specs and feature revelations to surface before then. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.